Hello, everyone, and welcome to Final Show Films. I am John, your executive producer here, and thank you all for tuning in to watch. Particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters, Rowan Parker, Jerry Alexander, Samantha Bates, Cat Waterflame, and Elle. Thank you all very much for supporting us, and for those of you watching for supporting us as well. Without any of you, we wouldn't be able to do nearly half the stuff that we do, which is a weird specification for an amount, but you know what? My brain is running on autopilot right now, so we're going to continue on until I stop. Anyways, as usual, sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're back! A dinosaur story. From our long hiatus, hello everybody, and welcome. I don't know why Jeremy's reaction is the thing that makes me laugh so much, but it's always Jeremy's reaction. Welcome back, everybody. I'm John, your game master for the evening, and also the embodiment of the Force in all things worship me. And I am joined.
Oh, really?
I think you're missing some of the key themes in Star Wars, but okay.
No, I'm not. And I'm joined this week by Jack.
Hey, everybody, I'm Jack. I am playing Jash Ulan, the Chiss. Let's see. Where's my character shit? The Chiss Guardian.
I think you mean character sheet?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sorcerer Defender and Protector classes, careers, whatever they call them in this system. And I think I need to roll some Destiny if the pool has been cleared.
It has been.
Okay,
I can
good.
see it.
One dark side.
One dark side.
Keeping it consistent.
Makes sense considering you're currently unconscious and back to tank. And
Yes, I am.
Neres, whose art I still haven't updated and need to.
God dang it. Hi, I'm Neres, droid consular healer.
It's alright, if you guys talk amongst yourself long enough, I'll probably try to update it in the middle of the show.
Okay, cool.
And roll your destiny.
Okay.
Roll your destiny.
Dark.
Oh, that's a sad one.
I'm also unconscious.
You're also unconscious, but you're on the floor. And Jeremy?
Oh, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Esty, Zeltron, Shadow. See, usually I'm the one who breaks the chain on that.
Oh.
I did not this time.
It's a
So I also got a dark side.
dark day to be pink. And
Zeltron.
I know, I understood the reference.
just not why I made it.
No.
And Holly?
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Avazia. She's a pureblood Sith Geo Berserker. And Dark.
Oh no.
It's up to you now.
I mean, it makes sense.
Don't put that pressure on me.
Alasia being,
I will.
forced to stay behind on the ship.
Yeah, she's not happy about
Like
that.
the liability she is. I'm just
Only
So there's
very
being a
specific
liability and
circumstances.
still being at 10 wounds.
I'm just all the negative thoughts in your head, that's all.
I'm in some pain, but she's fine.
And William.
She's fine.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Corsarath, the Sith pureblood Makashi duelist, and I'm going to roll Destiny and get 2 light side.
Well, aren't you special?
I am one of the people actively going to talk to people right now, and might be the only one uninjured, although I don't think that
No, Essie's I believe,
Esty took any hits.
I believe Essie's uninjured.
Correct.
Yeah, no, Essie's uninjured because she injured everyone else. When last we left off, there was a fight.
Yep.
And,
was.
and there was a
Sure
fight
was.
against a large amount of droids and also their Imperial masters, who were cut down very swiftly by the auto turrets that the Twilight Knights had commandeered. The auto turrets fared less good against the droids because they were programmed to target living creatures and not objects, so they didn't shoot any of the droids. They fucked up an Imperial Admiral, though, so, you know, that was good.
Good for them.
Someone in chat reminded me to use dark side from time to time. I do use the dark side when it's appropriate. Otherwise, I just talk, and that's good enough.
And that's dark enough.
In the middle of the battle, Esty commandeered the Admiral's ship and turned its weapons on the droids who had been primed to explode, which caused them to explode catastrophically, dealing a lot of damage to the landing pad and the people on it.
Listen, it was going to be bad no matter what.
In that, Korsarath is the only one that was left standing.
But nobody died.
Very
Yes.
unfortunately. They managed to get everybody onto the ship, load it up, signal Cassilian, and fly it towards the spire that Cassilian Alliance listing post had moved in. As a reminder, they are currently at the top of the spires, below the floating Margate towns and districts of Nar Shaddaa. They are the Upper Spires district, which is the highest part of the terrestrial buildings of the city planet Nar Shaddaa.
We're at the top of the basement stairs.
You get the top of the garbage heap.
Mhm.
And Korsarath and Esty had just stepped down the boarding ramp of their commandeered ship to meet Cassilian.
They're now known as planks.
Yeah, planks destined off the plank.
Was Esty with Korsarath? Because I thought she was keeping an eye on Avazia.
Decide now.
I can't remember. It's been a
Avazia had
minute.
said that she was going to stay put, and we wanted at least this was the argument made, was that
Right.
we didn't want just one Sith pureblood going out there to talk to Cassilian, sure, but whoever's with Cassilian as well who might open fire.
Right.
So,
Okay. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's
no, you're good.
been a few
It's
weeks.
been it's been a bit.
We've had quite the adventure in our time apart.
Yeah. So,
Bless you.
Yes.
yawn,
Okay, so it
sneeze,
is-
all in one.
So it is Korsarath and Esty together.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Knock them dead, you two.
the two
That's not the plan.
You can take that as metaphorically as you'd like.
Would be if I were there.
And the image of a swarthy Corellian greets them at the bottom of the ramp, that being Cassilian, flanked by two civilian-clothed individuals that you recognize as being from the listening post. You recognize them as engineers primarily. They weren't guards when you saw that they were manning equipment.
Okay.
Cassilian looks at the two of you, and then looks up at the ship, and then back at the two of you, and goes, "Please tell me there are more than just the two of you."
There are more than
Yes.
just the two of us.
There are. The others are not in the best of conditions. If you have a good mechanic to repair our droid, that would be appreciated.
Brought a mechanic just in case. Let's go.
But check out our upgrade.
Yes, it's very, very imperial.
Uh-huh.
You'll have to tell me about
Just
that.
what someone might need if someone has a plan to get the fuck off of the planet.
Oh no, very, very, very useful. Very, very potentially useful. We'll talk about that. Let's go see your
Yeah.
friends.
Okay, come on.
So you lead him in. Take him over to the med bay.
Yep.
He looks in. Just sort of takes a very quick census of the room. Waves a hand at Avasia. Looks over his shoulder. All right, so you fix that one. You come with me to check out the rest of the ship, and you two, points at Korsarath. You stay there, pointing over at Avasia. Points at Esty. You, Tor.
Yep. More than happy.
as he very rapidly tries to figure out the best way to get the information he needs without overtaxing a very clearly taxed group. The mechanic goes over and begins to work. So I'm going to go ahead and have them roll. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Ba-ba-da. Ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-ba-da. For every success, you heal a wound, Nereus.
Okay.
Was there
Oh,
supposed to be
hang on.
difficulty on that?
There should be difficulty on that. Hang on.
Okay. I was gonna say I'm at 22 wounds, so you know, it's gonna take a little while.
Man, this droid's fucked up.
Better mechanic.
His first roll was amazing.
I also have to remind you that I have a critical. I have critical wounds.
Okay, he can work on your critical wounds. He's just not getting
Okay.
you back up anytime soon.
Cool.
What's the difficulty on your critical wound?
I mean, the hardest one's 3. I'm crippled.
You're no longer that.
Yay.
Okay, so seeing that he's not going to be able to do much just with tools and such, he does produce and apply some repair patches. So you repair 5, then
Okay.
4, then 3, then 2.
I don't think that's how repair patches work. I think they do a flat amount each time.
And then stop.
Does that do a flat
Yeah,
amount?
they're slightly different from
Yeah,
stim
they're
packs.
definitely different than stim packs.
Hey, if they do a flat amount, that's better.
Emergency repair patches, 3 wounds per use.
Still only 5 uses.
Still only 5 uses.
Okay, so in that
Yeah.
case, 3, 6, 9,
12, 15.
12, 15.
Okay, after the 4th one, I am conscious, and then one more. You said?
Yeah.
5.
So then regain another 3.
Sorry,
Okay.
it's not. Yeah, you used 5, but it's 3 wounds each.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
mhm.
cool.
But yeah, after 4, I'm conscious.
So after applying all 5 to your various injured parts and patching you up, the power, those of you that are still conscious in the room, watch the power light behind the Mandalorian helmet of Nereus light back up. Nereus, your sensors come back on as your body begins to boot back up. There is a
Ow.
civilian above you applying repair.
Thank you.
No problem. Feel one of your you feel definitely feels like the arm that had been sort of hanging loose previously, you can actually like fully feel it now. And you sort of instinctively flex your fingers and the hand opens and closes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, I had to repair some of the wiring here and get your chassis tape back up. You're not 100% yet, but you're going to be operational. at
I
the very
will be
least.
fine. I leave.
Make a hang on.
Yep.
Stand up, fall right back down.
Hey.
You have to make a roll. Hang on. We'll see how it goes. Go ahead and give me a flat brawn check. Difficulty
Okay.
3.
All right. I don't think there's a way to make it on the sheet, is there?
You could do athletics, probably, but you might have to downgrade
rank in
it
the-
twice
yeah.
or something, or however many ranks you have in it. Just downgrade it.
Okay. Temporarily reduced it. Athletics, you said difficulty 3?
Yes.
Come on, Nearest. Nope.
You try to get up.
Gunk, tonk.
You try to get up to leave. You're having a hard time like maneuvering and you realize that it's because there's there's a person on your legs as they're trying to sort of hold you still while they do repairs. And you're like, oh, these joints aren't made for pushing people off while I'm flat.
Actuators aren't calibrated for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you're hold still, you're fine, I'll be off in a second. Meanwhile, SD, you, Caecilian, and one other sort of tour the ship. Eventually, you get up to the cockpit, and he begins doing like the other technician begins to do a quick diagnostic, basically, sort of just running checks on the ship, seeing what condition it's in. As he does that, Caecilian sort of draws you a little bit further back away so that you might speak without being overheard.
Right.
So, where did the ship come from?
Funny story. There was an admiral. I think I mentioned this during our review, but there was an admiral who was hunting for sport because everybody thought it was bounty hunters. It wasn't. So the good news is the admiral is definitely not going to report it stolen.
Good.
Because he's really, really dead.
Bad. Good name?
I believe we did. That was.
We have the code cylinder with their identifier on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you offer the code cylinder?
Yeah.
He takes it. Reaches up, twists it a little bit, and slides, and you see that he actually like almost deconstructs the code cylinder, which you've never interestingly enough, you've never seen anyone do that to a code cylinder before because you didn't know they could come apart. As he sort of like twists and pulls, it's almost like pulling apart a pin, but pulling apart a pin from the shell down rather than twisting anything off. So twists, pulls, sort of disentangles it a little bit and looks at what you can see. There's a series of sort of you do recognize there's a series of engravings and punch outs on the interior basically like motherboard of the chip that you recognize as being an Imperial cipher. You don't recognize what it says, but you recognize that it's an Imperial encryption, like physical hardcode encryption.
If you tell me that this is like the Emperor's fuck up of a nephew who failed his way upward into this job and is completely useless, but we've gained an even worse enemy at this point, I'm going to be really annoyed.
No, fortunately, as he puts it back together.
Good.
No, this wasn't even somebody that had a cipher agent attached to them. It's a minor admiral at best.
Oh, good.
Probably why you spent all this time hunting defenseless creatures underneath Shada.
Right. I'm not feeling bad about him being dead.
No.
Not even a little.
Will be missed eventually, not immediately. Important part.
5 out of 5 would kill again.
Wouldn't blame you. Okay, we can use this. These sort of like really. So yeah, we need to get us off planet. Ship will do. Get some code. How do you guys feel about raiding a capital ship?
I mean, I don't know about everybody else. There's probably going to need to be a little more time to recover, but I need to go take a cold shower after what you just said.
Yeah, because this will get us up into territory, but this is not like travel, transponder, permission to leave codes. This is I am an admiral, listen to me codes, not. Which is good for a lot, not when the Empress is here.
That's step 1.
Yeah. This will get us.
Let's get to step 2. I am I am excited for what's coming next.
Yeah, this will get us onto a capital ship. Get us through the door.
Music to my ears.
From there, we're going to need to acquire either a higher ranking admiral's code cylinder, which is going to be harder,
Right.
or Imperial mandate letting us pass, which is going to be near impossible.
Right.
But the only way we're going to find that is on a capital ship. Why did I ever fucking leave?
I mean, that was your first mistake. But
Yeah.
that being said,
You know, I could have dealt with the Imperial occupation. The beaches were still nice.
so do you know what admirals are do you know what capital ships are above us right now?
Got a good idea, a couple of them. There is the Emperor's Wrath, which is the
Right.
capital ship of the Hand of the Emperor. Well, Emperor
Right.
now.
So are there any other capital ships?
Yes, there's
Because I'm excited about that possibility, but also I'm a little less excited about dying.
yeah. So
Or
there's-
even better, failing but not dying is even worse.
there's the Emperor's Wrath. There is the Eclipsed Moon, which is the Empress's personal ship. There,
That's left. You're not getting better.
It's a great idea.
I mean, I'm down.
Hi, Mom. We're here to take your ship.
I am 100% for that. Do you
I
have
was really,
any
I was
idea
really
how-
hoping they were going thematic, and we'd get like the Emperor's Gluttony, the Emperor's Lust, the Emperor's just Pride. You know, right? It'd be great.
Do you have any idea how down I would be for trying to steal your mother's ship directly from underneath her?
don't need the ship,
And-
just need codes.
No, we'd be taking the ship, and we'd be leaving a note
Don't know if we have a big enough crew for that.
positioned like an unruly teen stealing their parents' car.
Borrowed the keys, Mom. Just floating in space.
Gonna be a crazy weekend on Coruscant.
And then
That said, I see again with the dying or worse.
and then there's the Crimson Volley, which
'Kay.
is the flagship of another Dark Council member. And I think those are the three capital ships in space. So we've got
Which
Dark Council member,
which
Hand of the Emperor, the Empress.
which Dark Council member
Don't know yet.
do I know?
Yes, you do. It is not the Dark Council. It is not Fluxatius' ship.
Right. I'm assuming I wouldn't have to ask whether I know that
Yeah.
one or not.
No, it's not Fluxatius' ship. It is. In my list of
Nope, you're good.
quick vamp somebody. I love that I throw that out into the world and then nothing happens.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just complete silence.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Oh well,
no,
I'm still over here trying to come up with a good referential joke of, well, if it's the Dark Council member that is names member of NWA that's not all that great,
No, it's,
then we'd be fine.
no, it's Darth Saf.
So is he like the
SA
Dr. Dre of the Dark Council, or is he more like the MC Ren of the Dark Council?
Hey, let's not let's give MC Ren.
I was about to say, I
proper
knew how that
respect.
was spelled based on you
Right.
being the one to say it, John.
Fair.
But
I
that
knew
said,
exactly how that was spelled before you started typing.
Look,
what do I know about Darth Saf?
Darth Saf is one of the. She's the current. She is the current Dark Council member that is in charge of Imperial intelligence. She was working.
Okay.
She was working with Darth Zakant, who was the previous one in charge of that, which would logically make her the next in line if Darth
Right.
Zakant ascended to Empress.
So Imperial intelligence sits, so basically the scariest thing you can think of. Would be the best description.
And this is the person. This is the person that knows all of the secrets that the Empire knows, all of them,
Uh-huh.
even the ones that the Empress or the Emperor doesn't necessarily know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Empress probably does, considering she literally came from that position. But
they gain secrets at an
Yeah,
immeasurable
you get
rate.
new ones.
Like, they gain secrets at an immeasurable rate. But yeah, so very scary. Also, the person who basically gets to go, you know what? These people need to die. So assassins, like, they're in charge.
But-
they're in charge of intelligence. Your like technically former boss kind of thing.
Right.
Right.
But suffice it to say, high value target potentially too,
Oh, absolutely.
and possibly some very valuable information in their capital ships data banks.
Yeah, but also the ones that are going to be the most prepared for someone trying to steal stuff out of their ship.
Also true.
honestly, the only one who would be considered to be less prepared for someone trying to steal stuff out of their ship is the Emperor's Hand's ship. Because both the Empress and the current head of intelligence are both from intelligence.
Yeah, so you've got the Emperor's Hand, the single strongest force user outside of the Emperor,
Right.
in the Empire. Got the Empress, and then you've got the head of intelligence.
Well,
Who
tho-
might not be
so-
as strong a force user, but probably has more resources than the hand.
Right. So after Caecilian says the name of the ship. Good news.
Yeah.
I lied. There isn't any. But that being said, that's Imperial intelligence. That's Dark South. Yeah, that expression, that's what just went through my head.
Beaches were fine.
That said, if we could get on the ship, just imagine.
I have one of those migraines that just starts and then another one happens while the first one's still going. And then a third happens while the first two are still going. That's me right now.
Right? Yep. That seems entirely fair.
Okay, so we've got, based on the level of importance that this guy was, we've got a week before he's missed.
Okay. There's enough time for our people to get back on their feet.
Assuming that no one directly knows that he was coming down here in the first place, and are expecting him back in like a day. So, which we don't know. So average it out, 3-4 days.
Yeah, but we're going to get advance warning if somebody starts looking, because the first thing they're going to do is contact his ship.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to wake up and suddenly, well, that's not true. We have the Empress, the Empress's Hand, and the head of Imperial intelligence orbiting above us. They might just be like, let's go investigate for ourselves. But probably somebody will contact us first. So we will have some advance warning.
He puts his
if that happens.
he puts a finger to his lips, turns and whistles really sharply, and the guy who was just sort of scanning stuff sort of turns and looks at him. Go downstairs, get a bug kit, come back up, scrub this ship clean, please.
Yep.
And he goes. All right. Bring back a medic.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And a back to tank.
That would also be good.
Look, if this guy would just get off my legs, I could help. I am perfectly capable.
So
That is a lie.
He's working here. Let's go down. Let's go talk with those of us who are conscious. Because I'm pretty sure, I realize I'm still fairly new with this group, but I'm pretty sure Kurthrath is going to have opinions on this.
It will be a cold day in whatever facsimile of hell we all end up in when we die, when Corsarat doesn't have an opinion.
This situation very specifically for reasons.
I'm aware. And the two of them head back to the others.
Yep.
By the time Esty and Caecilian get back to the med bay, the engineer has gotten off of Neres and has finished his repairs. Neres, you can now stand up if you so desire.
Yes, I would. Perfectly fine. Go.
No, you're not. The
Fine.
engineer says.
I will be.
I mean, maybe.
I can heal myself.
You get the sense that he's pondering what that means.
I don't tell him that. I'm telling you as the GM.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I do not say that.
Gotcha. But either way, he doesn't get a chance to. He wouldn't. If you had, he wouldn't have gotten the chance to go further because at that point is when Caecilian and Esty would walk in.
Cool.
Caecilian looking at the other guy. Cool. Go help. Go help. He spouts off a name because I don't feel like coming up with one. The guy heads out, leaving all of you alone with Caecilian. Those of you that are conscious and the ones of you that isn't. Right. Well, Esty, your turn. And he sort of leans against a wall.
So good news. No, I'm not going to play that name again. No, there actually is legitimately good news. It's just very, very qualified good news. So what we've got, we actually get off this shithole. We're gonna need to get onto, as Caecilian said, we're gonna need to get onto a capital ship. Because what we have will only take us so far. We only murdered a lower admiral. We need to aim higher next time.
What are the options aside from my mother's ship?
The Empress's Hand and the head of Imperial Intelligence.
So the Empress's Hand.
Fuck.
I mean, no, there's two. There's two other options.
If we need to get anywhere covertly, entering the main capital ship of the person who is in charge of the Empire's covert operations seems like suicide.
It's okay. Let me say these again. The Empress, the Empress's Hand, and the head of Imperial Intelligence, they're all suicide missions.
Yes, but two are the head of Sith Intelligence, the former head of Sith Intelligence, now the Empress, and the Empire's greatest warrior, not its greatest spy.
You're not wrong about that. I really want to argue with you right now because I really want to get on Saf's ship and use all the delicious information in there to utterly destroy the power structure of the Empire. I really want to, but you're not wrong.
Cillian just sort of shrugs in the background. So I will say,
And there's no other ways that we can make use of this ship to get off this planet.
I mean, we can get off the planet. We just can't get past the blockade. I mean,
I'll be honest. If we can get on one of these ships, I don't know. I do not have my capital ship pilot's license. But if we could get on one of these ships and just manage to sabotage one of them enough to fire on one of the other ships, the chaos would probably be enough for us to get off, to get out of.
It sounds like a really bad idea.
How many other
As
ships are
opposed to
forming?
going up against the hand of the Empress, because, well, yes, not the greatest covert.
we're gonna sense this as soon as we're on the ship.
What?
The Emperor's hand is gonna sense us as soon as we're on the ship.
Also, that
Like,
to be fair, I can hide myself.
yeah,
Nerys can hide as well.
I can too. And then he points at Avasia, and then he points at Jash.
Right. We can't all.
Yeah.
I know.
How many other ships make up the blockade?
There are 3 capital ships interspersed with 20 carriers and a dozen destroyers, and then a few small. Enough to glass a planet 3 times over. It's the Royal Guard. Like it's the Empress's personal fleet.
Do we know which ship this vessel belongs to?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Lower ranking admiral was going to be on one of the one of the destroyers probably. Which one specifically? No idea. I mean, we could correlate transponders, send out pings and signals out, identify it eventually.
I propose that rather than stepping onto one of the 3 most dangerous ships in the fleet, we instead create an opening from one of the less dangerous ships in the fleet.
Not follow.
A ship's detonation or opening fire on any other ship will likely cause enough panic to allow a single starship to jump to hyperspace before guns are trained on it. Or, quite frankly, a ship moving out of position in this kind of blockade is enough of a distraction. We don't need to escape validly. We need to
Right.
escape.
So variation on what I was talking about.
Be nice to escape without having anyone chasing us.
You can't track someone through hyperspace unless you have a tracker on their ship.
Problem is, I mean,
Okay.
we're having a bug. The problem is the blockade. It's not see something fire. It's all automated, tied into the versus ship.
That's a problem.
If you don't have the transponder codes to get past it, they fire. They don't care.
Don't love that.
That's how they keep the Hutts here, because they know who has access to the best smugglers in the galaxy, who has access to the fastest blockade runners. So what do? Zero tolerance policy.
What are they looking for?
An excuse.
No, as in why come here specifically?
She said,
Find what?
Do you remember her announcement?
I, the player, don't.
Yeah. So her announcement was that the Emperor had been killed, and they were here hunting for fugitives that were connected to his assassin.
Us.
His assassin being Jinimizo Zardun. Or sorry, no. Nebushuza Zardun. Sorry, Jin Ibeshu Zardun. Just names.
There you go.
Nebushuza.
There you go. You got there.
Nebushuza. The Archon. Or sorry, the Exarch. Well, an Exarch. Is the one who's accused of assassinating the Emperor, and thus they are looking for any who are connected to that. Also, they accused him of working with the Republic to do so. So they're looking for you all. They're looking for Republic agents, and they're looking for anyone connected to you or Republic agents.
We can't wait this out. They will stay here as long as they need. We have to do something.
Like, it's not a bad idea. Getting on, like, we could probably get onto one of the smaller ships. I'm not sure how that'll help us get past the blockade, but we could definitely get on one of the smaller ships.
So, I promise this is not just because I really want to get on that ship. I think it's going to be pretty well. The odds of us sneaking in and catching anybody unawares is probably low in every situation.
I mean, it depends on who goes. That's the other
Also
thing.
that.
We don't all have to go. Like, we all have to go if we want to get out of there quickly afterwards. But if we're confident in our ability to just sneak, it can be a smaller group.
Also that. If it turns bad, and let's be generous to ourselves and put it at 60% chance it turns bad. I would rather be potentially locked in combat with Saf than with the Hand.
For those watching who might not be as familiar with Star Wars lore and terminology, and what that concept is of the Emperor's Hand, recall the scene from Star Wars Rogue One where Darth Vader just begins murking motherfuckers through a hallway. That, but even if those motherfuckers were Jedi,
right?
Is the Hand.
Is the Hand, yeah.
I agree. We did not even against Fluxati. It did not go well. We are not prepared for that.
We could potentially, if it came down to it, and we ended up forced into a fight, we could potentially maybe take out Saf. We lose against, and whatever the Empress Hand name is. I know that
everyone refers to them as the Hand. No one knows what their actual identity is, and that's intentional.
We lose against the Hand. We lose against the Empress.
Yes.
Although I also really want to steal the Empress's ship out from underneath her as well.
Do you have a death wish?
I'm not. I just said we lose. And I am definitely not arguing for that. I'm arguing for the Imperial Intelligence ship. But
I agree with SG. That would be great, but we would also die.
Yes. Like, I'm not saying we do it. I'm saying I want to do it. I'm saying we do it for the Saf ship.
The caveat, the largest wrench in this is that if the blockade is filtered entirely through the eclipsed moon, that would be the place to disable the blockade.
Yeah, you could disable the automated firing sequence from the Eclipse Moon.
That's the Empress's ship.
Mm-hmm.
Could we get to those controls?
Again, that's going to be reliant on who goes. We've got, right now at our disposal, we've got a crack team of Republic's spies, with 2 Jedi among their number, myself and one other. You all. Anybody y'all brought with you that aren't here now?
There is a small chance.
I mean, that sounds like a yes to me. Just saying.
You know what else it sounds like? I updated Nereus' art.
Yay! Thank you.
That's like my secret plan. Make them argue over plan. Make them plan of things. They will argue for hours, and I can do what I want.
It's true.
There's another source of potential insight that is not included in this conversation who should be.
Look, man, I'm floating in a back to tank.
That's the thing. Are you gonna clarify, or
If we are dealing with my mother's fleet, we should probably loop my father into the conversation.
Excuse me, who?
The Black Pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. You said insight. Josh wouldn't have been an applicable character in that. Never mind.
I swear I didn't hear you right. Who did you say it was?
I'm sure your ears are functioning, Cillian.
you know those vaguely triangular structures?
Yeah.
They're 3-dimensional,
Yeah, like a top, but upside down.
and they're sometimes sometimes have different colors, and occasionally are the color that it's the complete absence of light.
Yeah, it's like a really dark dreidel, but upside down.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one.
And on Corellian beaches is so comfortable, I could have dealt with the stormtroopers.
Trying really hard not to make a joke about not liking sand.
You do have a very unique family tree, Avazia will say to Christopher.
I gotta say, I kind of wish I'd been there for that wedding.
It wasn't a wedding. The fact that you think there was a wedding is amusing.
I'm not clearly there wasn't.
My mother wanted breeding stock to create the genetically most optimal assassin.
Yep, that sounds legit.
So the intelligence of my father was chosen as a good genetic candidate to go with her force prowess.
Yep.
Right. Well, where's he?
Funny.
In orbit.
Hiding on his keeping low profile on his ship.
Yes.
Which is not in orbit. Be shot down.
No,
Oh,
it's docked elsewhere on the planet.
Okay. It is docked. I can get in touch.
God damn it.
I've
Do we? Yes, we should definitely get in touch, because the last time we were in touch with them, I'm pretty sure was before the blockade.
It
no.
was right after the
It
blockade.
was in the middle of it when we were
Was in the
running.
middle.
Yeah, it was when you guys all agreed to meet up at the doctor.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is a lot could have happened between
So
them.
plans have
Yeah.
changed in regards to meeting up at the doctor.
Yes, yes, it has.
All right. Well, first, points over at Jazz, who's unconscious. That one needs to be awake.
Mm-hmm.
And second, we need to sweep this place for transmitters, trackers, anything like that. So, recuperate. I'm going to go have a very long conversation with a very short-tempered Jedi. And we're going to see what happens.
Have fun.
I'm not gonna.
Would you like me to come with you as proof?
No.
I don't think you're gonna make things better.
No.
Course
That would not help.
I would like if a third of the things I've learned in the past hour weren't true. That's what I would like.
Unfortunately, convenient falsehoods are in short supply. We are currently stuck with unfortunate truths.
He begins talking. He begins relating an old Corellian child's tale as he turns around and walks away, just to hear something not this.
Watch him go. I do believe we are going to drive that man to drink. So, anyways,
Say that like he doesn't already.
He's Corellian. He already drinks.
can you let a joke breathe? So, need to make contact.
We should, yes. Away from this ship in case there are any transmission intercepting devices.
Also contact him. I should work on getting Jash up
Yes,
and conscious.
that would be good.
Can you heal somebody past their 5 attempts to be healed per day?
Ah, well, shit. Never mind. Okay.
Medicine and stim pack uses are different. I don't know if you have
Yeah.
something that can do something other than the stim pack use.
That's right. Medicine checks are once per day. Yeah.
Well, once, yeah. So I'd already done a medicine check, I think. Let me check something here.
Medicine checks are once per day, but they have no limit, whereas stim packs have upper limit.
I've got heal.
That's what I was using. That's what uses stim packs.
Oh, okay. Does it?
Yeah, heal harm. If you use heal on the heal harm tree, it counts as a stim pack use.
Oh, it does? Okay. Never mind. I didn't realize that.
That's why it's not
Sorry.
infinite healing.
Okay. And Josh has had all stim pack uses. I don't remember.
Yes, I used all of
Okay.
everyone's
Oh,
stim
I
pack
sure
uses.
have.
Okay. And you have had a medicine check.
And I have had a medicine check at least once
Okay.
today. Yep.
Never
Mhm.
mind. I
Yeah,
can't.
no, I
but
am. Yeah. Not.
Yeah.
I can't. Nobody can help me anymore today.
Never mind. Well, I just stand there and I can heal myself.
Well,
because
if you
I-
have critical injuries, people can work on those.
That's true.
You would have to take him out of the back to tank.
I do have 2 of those.
Okay.
Although
They're both difficulty 2.
those will those also not heal? Those no back to tank lets you.
I can
roll
make
them. Yeah.
Right. I can make resilience checks, I think, since I'm in a back to tank. But I've already tried today. I think I already did those today and I didn't succeed that one.
I mean, probably let him be in there long enough to heal up to be conscious, and then get that done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And then, if you want to worry about critical injuries, technically, I do still have one.
So do I.
All right. Well, line up, people who need help.
At this point, as you're getting people ready to line up, you do hear more people coming onto the ship. And very rapidly, a portable back to tank is brought into the medical bay. This is one it's roughly the size of like a bed, as opposed to the big like installed pod that Jash is in. And it's like basically you sort of lay in it. Acta, as they describe. So anyone that has remaining severe injuries can sleep in that for the night, basically, to get the effects of a back to tank. They leave that in the med bay as well and begin doing sweep for bugs and things.
So Avazia should be sleeping in that with her 10 wounds.
Yep.
She'll start to protest and then stop.
Who needs critical wounds looked at?
I have one diff 2 critical wound.
Okay, I'm gonna start with
Yeah, same.
Esty. You said it's diff 2 for
Yes.
yours? Okay. And I have things, but I don't have that tab with my stuff. There we go. Medicine check.
Yeah, and tomorrow I can use heal again, which will get Jash out of that tank faster.
There you go. It's
Ye-
one of them's gone.
Yeah, and I only had the one, so
Cool. All right, and Corserath, diff 2.
Yep.
Cool. Hey.
So you don't remove it.
Nope. But fortunately, it's not affecting me at all. It's just a wound on my wound counter.
Yeah.
I forget, what's the time limit on trying a critical injury again?
I think it's once a day.
I think it's longer than that if you
I
don't have a
wanna
back
say.
tank.
Yeah.
Like
it's once a week, isn't it?
If you don't have a back
Oh, is it
tank.
once a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I do have healing trance. If I commit a force for every full encounter, one force remains committed. Heal 1 wound per rank of healing trance, and I have 2 ranks in it, so I can heal myself by just meditating.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which it's up to the GM to decide what an encounter is when you're out of combat.
Yeah.
Got an idea.
But I start doing that.
So, what are you doing for the rest of the evening? You're apparently meditating and not making any calls.
Yep.
Corserath will wait for the bug sweep to be complete before signaling that Esty should contact
They
Black
do
Pyramid.
find a few trackers and bugs. And
not
they
surprising.
remove them. After they've determined that the ship's clear, they retreat back down to the building. Caecilian still doesn't come back up. You assume he's still having a lengthy conversation.
But legit, once they are done, I am going to, even though I'm sure they already did it, I am going to run through the software and to make sure that there isn't any additional anything they missed.
I'll give me a computer's check diff 2.
Yep. And hold on, I have something. I have some slicey stuff. I just don't remember. Oh, only if there's set backpacks. I think is the only thing that yeah. So computers diff 2, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One.
Okay.
I'll
One
take
success. Yeah, you look through. You don't find any specific software that stands out as being, tracking software or anything like that.
Okay. So yeah, I will. What do you want me to say?
Let him know that plans have changed and we are currently at a different location, and we will contact him with more information when we learn whether or not our hosts are comfortable bringing him into the loop.
Okay.
I think inviting him here immediately would reflect rather
sure.
badly if the Jedi is as aggressive as Caecilian implied.
Absolutely. So I will code a message to obviously the ship, but to my good friend, and I will just put in his Zeltron name, that due to current situation, the high school reunion has been postponed for the moment. We are plans for the plans for the gym fell through. And we are currently determining a new location. And we'll let you know when we have one.
Very rapidly, you receive a response that indicates that, oh, they're sad that the plans fell through, but they've got 2 full kegs and party spirit waiting.
Delightful. Message received, and they are standing by.
Now we wait and see if a Jedi comes up with a lightsaber out, preparing to duel one of us for daring to invite danger.
Oh no. God forbid, whatever shall the you and me do about that, should that be a concern?
I know.
For the record, I also really don't like any of our options, but we have to go with one of them.
Except the idea of stealing Corsarat's mom's ship out from underneath her.
No. Okay, let me.
He thinks
rephrase.
that's hilarious.
Really
Doesn't like it.
I like the. Yeah. There's a difference between wanting to do it and liking it.
There.
Yeah, I don't like any of our options in terms of what we're up against. We can't wait this out. We're gonna have to do something.
It's the head of Imperial intelligence. She more than likely has several bugs on the Empress's ship, some that she knows about, some that she doesn't. We might even remotely be able to disable the blockade from the head of intelligence, because I doubt the head of Sith intelligence would ever conscience someone telling them where they're not allowed to go.
Oh yeah, you think that bitch doesn't have 1,000 different ways to shut your mom down, and your mom has about 700 of them already figured out, even though they were plotted yesterday? These are the fucking Sith. They expect this stuff. It's their morning Sudoku puzzles.
I used to be in that world, and I got very tired of it.
I really like the idea of like a sit doing morning Sudoku with like people. Like,
yes.
Kill you, kill you, kill you. Oh, look, it adds up. Turns out the answer to all of the puzzles is 0.
I feel you. I also used to be part of that in a different way, mostly just because I didn't care anymore.
I wasn't allowed to care.
Well,
I had carrying trained out of me.
As these two begin to measure their trauma dicks, I
think it's commiserating more than measuring.
Yes.
I like my phrasing better. That's where we're going to take a quick break. So, for those of you watching, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. And also, remember that when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do jumping jacks, whatever you feel like doing. And we will be back.
Jack has not consented to be jumped.
I said do jumping jacks. There's
okay.
More than one jack. And
That's
they have
fair.
to be jumping, not that you are jumping.
Okay.
And we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. A dinosaur story. So, you all rest. Finally beginning to recover from what has been a very long. It started with you crashing into a tower and ended with you crashing into a tower. Just in a different way.
At that
Is-
time.
As long as Cassilian's fine with us crashing his tower, I don't see the problem.
Is there anything any of you are doing before passing the fuck out?
Already did that, so no.
Meditate.
Dash
Waiting
farts
to
in
see
the
if an
background.
angry Jedi decides to show up,
Angry Jedi does not
or
show
a
up.
not so angry Twilight Archon.
Cassilian was never an Archon.
Twilight Knight.
It was a knight. Yeah.
Meditating in a quiet corner.
But we'll say you get 3 encounters worth of meditation
Okay.
from that. As you all rest. 2 of you in back to tanks.
How much strain do you get over the course of a rest? Is it all of it?
All your strain goes away.
I was gonna say, I think all your strain. Yeah.
Amount of wounds.
I had no wounds. Wounds champion.
Wounds champion. Azeroth wounds. I'm not sure how many wounds. Wounds! I'm not sure how many wounds. Go away. There's just no amount of them do. Alright. Core rulebook. The thing I should have open more often. Don't. Wound. Healing. Recovery. Healing wounds. Natural rest. For each full night's rest, a character heals 1 wound, regardless of the character's current state of health. At the end of each week of full rest, the character may attempt a resilience check to recover from blah, blah, blah. 2 of you are healing in back to tanks. Characters that can heal using back to tanks, rate of recovery depends on the character's state of health. A wounded character heals with the rate of at least 1 every 2 hours, and incapacitated heals at rate of 1 wound every 6 hours. So, Josh, you're healing. You'll probably have healed 2 more wounds by the time the morning comes.
Nice.
Where Avasia, you will have healed 4 more wounds.
Yay. Does my strain go away?
Yeah, your strain, everyone's strain goes away.
Yay. I'm doing a lot better.
And there's no oil bath on this thing.
There's
is
no
there?
oil bath at the moment, no. Josh, go ahead and make that resilience check.
Okay.
And Avasia, if you have any critical wounds, you can make a resilience check as well because you're resting back to.
Let me check.
All right. And is that just with the difficulty of the critical wound?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Oh, right. You
Oh,
have
I
a lot
forgot.
of them.
Shoot. Right. Okay. What am I rolling?
Pick 1, roll a resilience check
Uh-huh.
against the difficulty.
Do I just hit roll critical?
No, do not do that. That'll give you a new one.
Oh shoot. Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. What I'm
You are going
So
to on your
yeah.
skills on the skills tab,
yes.
you are going to roll a resilience check
Mm-hmm.
of a difficulty equal to 1 of your critical wounds. So look at your critical wounds, find the one with
Okay.
the highest difficulty, roll a resilience check against that one.
Or the lowest if you want to heal that one. Pick
or
one.
the lowest.
I would recommend that horrific injury because it's actively lowering one of your stats.
That's the one I'm going for.
Gash, you succeed in healing that critical injury.
Excellent. I'm gonna click the heal button.
Avasia, you don't
Yay.
need
Not
Not
that
with all
many
those boost
dice.
dice.
Dang it. Sorry.
I was like, damn.
I didn't clear it. Sorry.
Avasia, who is being attended by the 5 best physicians from Johns Hopkins.
I got
Hey.
one.
1 success is what you needed. So you can
Nice.
clear that.
Hey.
You can clear that critical wound and up that a bit, that attribute back to where it was.
Do you remember which one it was?
Pretty certain it was Braun.
Yes, it was Ron.
You can hit the heal button to get rid of it.
Oh, well, fine then.
Those of you that aren't in back to tanks and have oil factory sensors, wake to the smell of coffee.
Rothrath will stand up from his meditation and go to see who's bringing them coffee.
You walk out of the med bay, or wherever it was that you were resting.
In the med bay,
no.
next to Avazia.
Yeah. Into sort of the central, like, the way the ship is styled. There's a central, like, meeting room in the middle of it, between the cockpit and the rooms. Sitting at the desk there, looking at a holographic projection of Nar Shaddaa and a series of highlighted ships around it, with a mug of steaming coffee in one hand, is Cassilian. With a hand on his temple, looking at the hologram, looking like he hasn't slept in a while.
As Korsrath steps up behind him and looks at the hologram. I don't suppose you brought extra.
Nope. Drinks his coffee.
SD walks out of whatever room she had crashed in the exact state she was in when she woke up. Just walks out, grabs the coffee, thanks.
You get like the last swallow of it.
It's fine.
I walk in. Hello.
Hello. This, he says, he's pointing at you can now see sort of the full image of the blockade fleet.
It's a lot of ships.
It is. So, my Jedi has agreed that utilizing this ship to get off planet is going to be the best course of action for our little listening cell. At the primarily because they want to go get reinforcements to come break the blockade, but that's their problem, not mine.
How pleased were they about the situation?
I mean, not, but not like angry at y'all in specific. Summon the, and if you did, don't tell me.
We absolutely did not.
Exactly.
So moving on from that uncomfortable beat of silence,
but sorry, I've been awake all night.
do they have any thoughts on our proposed plan beyond that?
Their idea is to insert a small cell of trained non-force sensitive spies into the Imperial intelligence ship is the best option for getting people in there without them being sensed by the force users aboard. Get the information and get out. My argument was that if they are sensed by the force user on board, dead.
Yep.
Because it's not just force users that can sense. Also sense non-force users of a specific kind of attitude. So I'm trying to figure out a way for us to get sort of a even party balance of force users to non-force users, or at least those that can suppress their force sensitivity, into the ship. And what we're going to do with the rest of us, because I don't think we need to stay on planet and wait. Unless y'all have a second ship hidden somewhere.
I was about to say there's a second ship in the mix if he is open to inviting the Black Pyramid to the plan.
Did we forget to mention that?
The Black Pyramid didn't mention the second ship. Let that part out.
I did say that he was on his ship that was docked here.
I mean, we didn't float through space
No, that's
here.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. Sorry, I've been up all night. Okay. Second ship. Station
And it is a stealth ship as opposed to this, which is simply an Imperial ship.
Mm-hmm.
Second ship, stealth ship. Stationed on planet. Strike team goes up. Stealth ship ready for pickup if needed. Otherwise, strike team can leave in the shuttle that they're taking. This thing does have hyperspace, does have hyperdrive technology, so that'll be good. How many of you are confident in your ability to not be detected by the Force?
For a period of time.
If I don't have my lightsaber with.
Can you not look like a Mandalorian?
I just got this body.
They did.
So-
I mean,
No, it's a good body. It's a good body. Just doesn't fit in an Imperial uniform.
No, neither did the old one.
Yeah.
Do they still employ Mandalorian bounty hunters?
Yes, but not on the Imperial Intelligence capital ship.
Fair.
I mean, are there are Imperial droids wandering around. We could take one of theirs temporarily
How do you feel about doing
for
a,
you.
How do you feel about doing a costume?
I mean,
change?
take it permanently, but for you only temporary.
How do you feel about having a temporary costume change, Nereus?
Question. Does he mean just like swapping like exterior parts, or would this be another transfer and then I would lose like the boosts I'm getting from this thing?
Yeah, you would have it would be another chassis you could swap into, but you can swap now that you're familiar with how to do it.
Okay.
You can swap chassis freely.
Okay. And
You could just leave this chassis on the Black Pyramid ship and take an Imperial chassis up
Mhm.
into orbit.
Yeah. And then as far as like my ability to do that easily with the equipment we have, because
Thank
their
you.
mechanic kind of sucked, in my opinion. I'm judgy.
Add you back up. Yeah, you could do it. You'd take about an hour.
Okay. Yes, that would work.
Okay. How do you feel about wearing flesh?
Ew.
Are you considering one of the Jedi Hunters?
Yeah, actually.
Ah.
You couldn't have put that in a less disturbing way.
Yeah, I get it right out the gate.
You're not the negotiator for your teams, usually, are you?
I'm a very good negotiator. Sometimes you gotta say it straight, though.
All right. I'm not happy about this, but yes,
A Jedi Hunter would allow you to retain your lightsaber.
true.
And would let you have less of a suspicion if they did sense something.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit harder. That one would be a little bit harder to fully disguise, though, because you are missing some of the vital parts. Otherwise, we could probably get a security droid chassis.
Having my lightsaber with would be very useful in case things go catastrophically bad.
When?
I'm being optimistic.
Absolutely.
We could get a... Could very possibly pass you off as a personal training droid of a Jedi or of a Sith in this particular case. Have to get the right chassis. I think I know where to get it.
Okay. Is this different than the Jedi Hunter, or?
Yeah. The only problem is that we'd have to get it. So personal training droids, you've seen them before, I'm sure. We had one on the Aeon Cutter.
Yes.
They're droids that are programmed to fight like Jedi. They have lightsabers and everything. A lot of Sith have them too. Good, typically they like to destroy them and then have a new one built, but some of them survive. The good ones survive.
I like that plan.
A little bit harder of a sell training, but wouldn't have you wearing a body that isn't yours and trying to make the mouth move. So
Important question.
Hmm?
Is there one of the Empresses that training droids that we could steal? Because
Do you
I
have
feel
a death
like-
wish?
I feel like we really need to hit all of these boxes just for fun. I'm kidding. I'm keeping things light. That said, if there is one and we can do so.
no.
Okay.
No, but
If you don't ask, you don't get.
that's in this case asking also not get. But now there's a one of the Hand's apprentices, Narshada, has not an army of, but a battalion of personal training droids like those that they like to keep sort of as like an honor guard kind of thing, and also because you never know when they want to murder one of them for fun. We don't have to fight the apprentice himself, but they go through them at a fast enough rate that they wouldn't necessarily miss one if we get it separated out. It's gonna be up on the it's gonna be up in the thumbs up in the Imperial controlled docking area.
That would also require you to secure one without frying or damaging it noticeably.
I mean, so long as the damage is internal, bad. Whereas using the chassis, we're not using all the internals.
Ion weaponry then.
Yeah, get some ion blasters. Work. Or swap any blasters you have to stun settings if you have them. Stun
Yeah.
isn't as effective as ion, but it still does the job. We could do that. Get Nere's up there. Send Nere's, Esty, your Black Pyramid, and me up into the Imperial intelligence ship. Find what we can. Get out. Deactivate the blockade if possible. Make a run for it.
Is deactivate the blockade the first priority, or is getting what was it called? The thing we need to be able
Getting
to
either
pass through?
transponder codes or an Imperial clearance.
That's
yeah.
number one.
Yeah, that would be number one. That's the easiest one.
Yes.
Deactivating the blockade if possible would be number two, because we're not sure.
We
if it
don't
is
know
possible.
if we can. We don't know
Yes.
if we would actually be able to do that.
Yeah.
We are just assuming because bunch of paranoid bitches.
I thought. Anyone have better ones? Or do you want to wait until Josh is up and ask him?
Speaking of, when do the stim packs flip over for the day?
No.
I'll go check on him and see if I can get him awake.
You do that.
Is Zavazia still in the back to tank?
Only if you wanted to be.
Oh, I thought she was. Sorry.
It's a matter of if you wanted to sleep, if you wanted to keep sleeping.
She'll keep sleeping until you get Josh up.
Go make your rolls.
Do you wake up Avazia by tapping on her tank like she's a goldfish?
No.
Ting, ting, ting.
He does not have
Get
a death
cracked
wish.
tank.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
First, I will head over to Josh's tank and heal him.
Be healed.
Question there.
Yeah.
Well,
How many force dice do you have, and what's your intelligence? Because that's the dictator.
I have 2 force die, and my intelligence is something. Somewhere. Where is it? 2.
So we are the same.
Okay. I also have knowledgeable healing, which I'm not sure if that applies here. I'm double checking. When
Sure.
healing an ally, I can spend destiny to get additional wounds healed. So that might work better. That's all.
I don't. Where's that on? I don't know if that'll apply to like force power heal or just like medicine healing.
That's true. It's Force and Destiny page.
Also, we only
69.
have 2 destiny points. Josh would
That's
prefer
fair.
you save
Okay.
those.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. So for now, I'll go ahead and
Yeah, but Josh
heal.
can't vocalize that because Josh
I
is
was gonna say.
unconscious.
No, that's
Yeah, you're unconscious.
this is meta information.
Josh, we healed you. It took us both destiny points, but we did. First of all,
What are destiny points?
what are destiny points? Secondly, why on?
Yeah. I can also potentially, if we want to be sure of successes, I've got I can use flow on that and then get an automatic success.
Well, you need to generate force points. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, you can't really.
Okay.
so on your first impact use, you regain 6 hit points or 6 wounds.
Nice.
Cool.
Second one, 4 wounds.
I'm conscious.
Third one, 2 wounds.
Yep. Still
Fourth
conscious.
one. Don't tip the fourth one yet. 2 more wounds for the fourth one.
Cool.
And fifth one, not yet. 4 more wounds.
How many hours is that?
I don't think it takes an hour. It's an action to use. It's just it takes one of your stim
I
packs.
feel like it has a time.
Stim packs I think are only like a maneuver.
Stim packs are. I'm talking about the heal spell. The heal
Okay.
ability. Let's look it up real quick. I might be wrong. I feel like there's a time.
Yeah, it takes a maneuver to cast.
Yeah.
And it's a thing you can do in combat.
Okay, so then a few. So, how many seconds is that then?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maneuvers worth. So probably a minute.
Yeah, we'll say a couple minutes. So after a couple of minutes of focusing, Josh, your eyes open up. You realize there's a tube down your throat in your gut. You have to
I know what's the difficulty on my discipline check to keep from fucking panicking.
Difficulty 3.
Okay.
Actually, no. What's the highest difficulty of your current critical injuries?
2.
2 then.
Okay. And probably okay.
Didn't fail.
Rattled, but okay.
That's great.
Not a fail. Several advantages.
You start trying to breathe and realize you can. Like you're like.
Okay, right. Start trying to breathe and then realize I can.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You do the thing where it's like, oh, I can't breathe. Oh, wait, no, I can breathe. It just feels weird because there's a tube in my throat.
Yep.
That's the thing. Like,
So Josh will just put a palm like up against the transparent steel.
Hey there, sweetie.
yeah, I remember waking up after in the middle of and then after my operations to get my my sinuses fixed, and you freak out because there's a tube in your throat, and you try to breathe, and you feel like you can't breathe, but then you realize
Right.
you can breathe.
And you're like, oh, okay, this is just weird.
And it's like
now.
it's hard. It's like you can't manually breathe, but you can breathe.
See, here I was excited to hear about a story about how you woke up in a Bacta tank.
Technically, it was a Bacta tank.
You ever been in one of those breathable Jello tanks?
Want to. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull Josh out.
Yeah, let's get him out of the back tank.
Oh, they pop the can, pull your slimy ass out, and then your throat is very sore.
Thank you.
Good news, you look good covered in slime.
Just kind of looks at Esty.
Welcome back to the world of the living.
Checks to see if I'm wearing any clothes. Doesn't really matter. Just checking.
You're wearing one of those big diapers.
Okay.
Are you still injured, or did that heal everything?
I have 7 wounds out of my total of 18.
Okay. Can I heal you again at this point? I think so.
The daily regular medicine check. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
And I have 1 critical injury of a difficulty 2.
Okay, I'm gonna address.
Which I don't think has been attempted anything
Okay.
yet.
I'm gonna do that first. Difficulty 2 on the critical injury medicine. Well, shit.
Nope.
Wait,
Okay.
Wait, I shouldn't have a. No, I do have a boost die. Never mind. Sorry. And then this is just to heal you. You
Okay.
know. There you go.
3 more wounds gone.
Yeah.
Cool.
+2,
Oh, plus another 2.
5. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a doctor. There we
I take it we're doing slightly better now.
Just a bit. He's, of course, Rat says as he steps over and proceeds to heal Avazia as well.
go. We have a very
Have
We
you
have a
woken her up from
great
the back
plan.
tank?
He's gonna
risky plan.
just start healing for now, and he'll wake her up when he's done.
Okay.
I
We have a
believe
great plan. First, here's a towel.
He just kind of drapes it around his shoulders and
Yep.
smears whatever he can out of his
Yep.
hair. I don't know
Oh.
how volatile
There we go.
or how quickly Bacta evaporates if it's an alcohol-based substance or anything
I like to
that,
imagine
but-
it's kind of like aloe vera.
Oh, okay.
Like
So
hair
that's-
gel.
your skin's gonna drink that up over the course of like an hour or
Yeah,
2,
yeah.
probably.
Or you could shower, but yes.
Do they have showers in Star Wars?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're called refreshers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah. So the first time you use one of your stim packs for the day, you heal all 6 of your remaining wounds, Avazia.
Yay.
So
Is she awake now?
And then he will activate the wake up sequence on the back of the tank,
Okay.
on the portable tank.
Let me take a moment to collect myself and
absolutely take all the time you need.
once we have
There's a
Avazia.
clear countdown going down the amount of time.
Sure,
Is
take
the-
all the time you need. Hourglass, chunk. Right,
We're like 10-second class, but yeah.
right, yeah.
Josh,
Yep.
make a coordination check, difficulty 2.
Okay.
I think the portable back tanks are more like the breathable jelly ones where they don't need to intubate you. They just sort of let you lie there, yeah?
Nope.
So you react to the sound of something being tossed in time to get hit in the face with a bottle of water.
Okay.
As
I
course,
like the idea of it gets thrown and Josh reaches and grabs and it's like 6 inches to the left.
Yeah. as Cassilian walks by, having tossed you some water, looks up. He stops, leans back, looks at you with a look on his face like, "Dude."
And Josh just kind of meets his eyes and vaguely gestures to the stump of his left arm.
Nods and continues walking.
And then he'll retrieve the water bottle and hydrate before he dehydrate.
Hydrate before you dihydrate, and remember to do your titrations.
Yeah, the Bacta drains out from around Avasia and the door slides open. Welcome back.
Good morning.
Less slide, more shell, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh, hello, Josh.
Avasia.
countdown hit 0. So, have you ever had steal from the Imperial Intelligence Chief on your bucket list?
No.
You can add it.
And
Love
then
this.
cross it off.
And then cross it off.
Walk us through this.
Yeah. So we have we have an admiral's ship. We have an admiral's credentials. That is not enough to get us through the blockade. We need to get onto a one of the capital ships. Our 3 options are the Empress, her hand, or Darth Saf.
Do I know who Darth Saf is?
Nope.
Okay.
The head of Imperial Intelligence.
All right.
Or we can go for a smaller ship and try to figure things out from there. But that does not have a very. I think we will be in the same situation as we are now.
We are going to need to get, if we do that, we need to get the blockade turned off. And I don't think we can do that without getting on a capital ship anyways.
What's
Yes.
our attack vector?
Sneaky.
Josh looks down at himself, looks over at Neres, looks over at Corsarath, Avasia, and then looks back to Esty.
The current laid out plan is that those of us who are not stealth oriented, along with the members of Cassilian's Republic friends who are not stealth oriented, will wait on the Black Pyramid stealth ship while
they're stealth oriented, just not combat oriented.
yeah, we'll wait on the Black Pyramid's stealth ship while those of us who can conceal themselves from the Force and also physically will journey aboard this carrier, to the shuttle, to our chosen capital ship, find a way to get us passage through, either through transponder codes or through somehow disabling the blockade, and then we run.
Turns back to Esty. I thought you said we had a plan.
No. First of all, I did not say that. I specifically did not say we had a plan.
You said we had a great plan.
Yes. I can play back the tape if you would like.
I have no recollection of that. Anyways, but honestly, that's the turn off the blockade and make a run for it is our plan B. Our plan A is get a hold of the
requisite permissions to try and just leave.
whatever it's called. I can't. But
Transponder codes or Imperial authority or Imperial
mandate.
Credentials.
the thing that we have of the Admiral, the
Code cylinder.
yes, get that for the capital ship, because then we can create our own orders and just fly past the blockade without every manned ship chasing after us.
Well, the manned ships wouldn't be the problem. It would be the unmanned defenses.
The manned ships would still be a problem.
You have both.
We have to
manned ships.
survive long enough to get to hyperspace. But yeah,
I'm smelling a great deal of hope coming off this proposal.
Well, the other option aside from doing this is wait here until they find us.
Which is not an option because they will find us.
We're probably gonna die no matter what happens.
Optimistic. We think.
Just stating facts.
All
Listen,
right.
I'm rooting for us.
Cassilian wants to find me a new chassis, and then I can join.
I know you're capable of masking yourself, so the new chassis will assist with this.
Yes.
Yes. An Imperial chassis, for instance.
I can hide myself. This is what I do.
You are
I
trained
sneak
for
on,
this sort of
I
thing.
sneak onto things in
Is
order
it just
to
going
steal
to be the
stuff,
two
kill
of you?
stuff, whatever.
Cassilian.
Cassilian as well.
I don't
Potentially
think-
the Black Pyramid, depending on
Yeah.
his disposition.
Like
I
they're
would
very
like
capable.
the rest of you there, but I'm concerned about capabilities, I'll be honest.
I can neither mask myself nor be particularly hidden physically.
Also, you're the one that they'll notice first.
Yes,
They
also
will know your ass.
they will recognize my signature.
They'll recognize your face.
Yeah.
Even before they see my face, they'll realize my force signature is like my
I
mother's.
mean, yeah, that too.
All right. So 3 against a capital ship.
Plus whatever agents this Republic cell can throw at it.
Still.
You should drink that water. It'll do wonders for your throat.
Yep.
He looks down at the bottle that is currently half empty and just chugs the rest. Throats take a while to come back.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do.
All right.
Not. I still think it's a great plan. That is not a plan. 'Cause
It
I
is
did not
likely
say we
our
have a
best plan.
Thank you. I appreciate the optimism.
Still not a good one.
It's not a plan, but it's
I
a perfect
appreciate
plan.
the optimism.
Yes, Nereus?
I have a question real quick because I have suppress and I've gotten some upgrades on it. So I know it works on me, but the like base thing is that it adds an automatic failure to force power checks made against him or an ally within short range until the end of the next turn. Would I be able to mask more people than just me?
As long as they stay within short range of you, yes.
I could potentially mask more of us if you stay
I'm-
close.
I like this plan.
Staying close is generally what I've been trained to do.
You would
However,
still
the
want people who
more-
can physically sneak, even if they aren't able to hide from the force.
True.
Or can at least pose as a member of the Empire.
Bingo.
Yes.
Gee, it sure is unfortunate the Empire doesn't employ
A number of
officials and
CHIS
forces.
operatives.
I was going to say a number of forces in their military who are completely hidden physically from view by nature of their fascist looking similar helmets and outfits.
There's also some of the chassis options are a training droid. There is an apprentice who keeps a battalion of them, or a Jedi Hunter. Those were the two.
Or a battle
If
droid,
the
like
training-
like
Or a
the
battle
Imperial
droid.
If the training droids are generally kept by a single apprentice and no one else, I feel like it would raise more questions as to why one of those is out and about. A Jedi Hunter would likely be able to be employed or be found in
Mhm.
justifiably in more locations for whichever ship we've chosen to target.
Yes.
Well, The kind of training droids we're referring to are the kind that are disposable and used by Sith the Empire over. They're not exactly difficult to come by in most situations. However, one traveling away from its Sith master would be unusual.
And what would the pair of you be doing?
Waiting. I don't think either of us would be able to set foot on one of those ships without giving ourselves away. He says, indicating to himself and Avazia.
True. Having you in place for in case of needed contingencies would probably be tactically sound.
The current
And
plan is
had you guys said which ship yet, or had just been given the three options?
well, the current target ship is the head of Sith intelligence, Darth Saf's ship, as the least likely to immediately detect us by force presence and potentially less dangerous in a fight than either the Hand of the Emperor or the Empress herself.
This Darth Saf is lower ranked in the Imperial Order.
Well, she's the head of Sith. She's the head of Sith intelligence, which is not a low ranking, but it is not. Council. It is a member of the Dark Council, but it is not the Empress or the Hand of the Empress.
It's a terrifying fight, not a horrifying fight.
Fine distinctions noted.
But if you ask me, it's probably a winnable fight if it came down to it.
I have a feeling that if there is an open conflict, flight is going to be the only real option at that point. We will be vastly outnumbered on the ship of the head of Imperial intelligence, and I'm sure, Corsorath, you're very well aware what sort of capabilities we can expect from that sort of position's attaché.
Oh, yes. If they don't have people like me, they'll have people more suited than me.
Jash kind of thinks to himself for a minute, looking around at the people who are being tagged to go on the mission. If there's room for me, then I would like to go. If you think it's possible to mask me and perhaps walking with purpose will be enough.
Yeah, I think it's doable.
And I think Caecilian may need to outfit me with some contextually appropriate armor.
Yeah. I have a thought.
Okay.
Bear with me here.
It's THOT.
No, I have a thought, not I am a thought. Although the one does not exclude the other, okay? But once we get the credentials we need, we will still be flying through, again, manned ships that we might have issues trying to evade before we hit hyperspace. And more to the point, if we leave here and they don't suspect people have left here, they will keep tearing this planet to pieces. Now, I don't give a shit about the people in charge of this planet. The Hutts can die to a person and I wouldn't care. But
It would not end with just the huts,
It
no.
won't end with just the huts. So here's a thought. And I realize this sounds insane, but go with me just until I finish. Once we get the credentials, being on the ship that we're on, if we can get into that database, we just start broadcasting Saf's big old ball of secrets publicly to every fucking channel. It's going to cause chaos. It's going to hurt the Empire severely in the long run. And it will provide the confusion that we need to get the fuck away.
I would
And make it
argue
clear that we've escaped, that whoever has caused this problem is no longer on the planet.
I would argue that is only feasible if the option presents itself.
Of course, I'm not saying that we stick our necks out overly so to, but I want to put that potentially up for discussion of being on the agenda.
Because I'm fairly certain that once they realize that their admiral is missing and they realize which ship left using the right credentials,
Keep talking. I'll be back.
they'll realize who has disappeared from the planet.
Probably. I'm concerned about how many people will die before that happens, though.
I've no objection to attempting to spill the soup on the way out the door.
Just make sure it's on the way out the door.
Of course.
I think it's as good a plan as we have right now.
Let me make sure I have all the moving parts here. As many of us as can and won't be visually recognized.
Right.
Sneak onto a capital ship, utilizing the credentials that we pulled off this dead admiral.
Right.
Once there, move as subtly as possible until we can access the necessary clearances or whatever in order to get ourselves and on a different ship out through and out of the blockade. If the opportunity presents, cause as much chaos in our wake to cover our tracks as possible. And then once we have all of those items in place, we attempt to rejoin whatever exit vessel we have and jump away.
That is currently the size of it, yes.
Yeah, that is a very, very succinct.
Looking around, how big is this admiral's ship that we're on, and is it big enough to do that?
It's fairly large. It's not.
Okay.
It's an admiral shuttle, so it's bigger than an average shuttle. It's more like
It's a
cruise
shuttle.
carrier.
It's not right. It's not like a Corvette or
No.
something like that,
No,
or a
it's-
freighter
it's-
size
it's-
or anything.
It's more like a yacht, it's a troop carrier that has been outfitted like a yacht.
Okay. Does it have hyperspace capability,
Yes,
or
it has a
okay?
hyperdrive.
Okay.
It has a hyperdrive, so does Black Pyramid ship. Black Pyramid ship is a stealth ship.
Black Pyramid might be able to just fuck off this blockade by himself, for all Josh knows. But yeah,
This ship is a little bit bigger than Black Pyramid's ship,
okay,
but it's that same like sort of style. It's that same size of
right,
class of
Mhm.
ship, I should say.
right. Fair enough. Do we have any? And looks over at Corserath for this. Schematics or layouts of the interior of Saf's vessel?
That you'd have to ask Cassilian for. I would highly doubt it, considering that as the head of intelligence, she probably had that ship built as soon as she assumed the position so that it could house all of her personal secrets.
You're half right, Cassilian says from around the corner. Yeah, I mean, it's very likely customized on the inside, but we at the very least have schematics for the class of ship that it is. So it's got the same silhouette, matches the exterior, so that it could only have changed it so much on the inside. So it's not nothing, but it's not the whole thing. And he tosses a data pad towards you.
Can I catch this one, do you think?
Yeah, you can catch this one. You're
Okay.
more awake now. So.
Right. Before we leave, I would like my arm.
Yes.
Who's making it?
Give him the name of the lab or whatever.
He pulls out a communicator, hits a few things, closes it back. Up later today.
To be fair,
Wonderful.
it would not exactly be a good disguise for a one-armed stormtrooper.
Not too many of those.
At least not in active service.
Well, I believe we have this planned out as best we can.
Cassie, do I need to get?
Oh,
We should, with your Jedi compatriots' permission, give the Black Pyramid the location where he can meet us to be looped into the plan properly on secure, well, vocal channels rather than trying to communicate over distance.
absolutely. And with that, I'm going to call it a little bit early. I apologize for those watching and those playing. I won't have I typically have 2 doses of Adderall, one for the morning and one for the evening. But I'm currently out of the second one. I won't be able to get it until next Tuesday. So I'm kind of
Fair.
like, for the past 30 minutes, my brain has been shutting down.
Absolutely
enough.
fair.
Fine.
I mean, it's a good point too, because we literally just finished planning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
This allows you time to prepare
So yeah, so we're going to cut it.
to
Call it.
murder us.
We're going to call it a little bit early today, or this week. Next week, I'll have my full regiment of speed, so I'll be able to be functional this late in the afternoon. But yeah, see you all next
Right.
time. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.